Man, I really wish the funny donut had gotten a bit more screen time. Though, to be fair, the car was a pretty important part of Zeta, so it's memorable. Hello and welcome back to another Gunpla review. Today we're taking a look at the high-grade Asshimar. And starting off as always with the articulation. Head is on a ball joint, though not a ton of range there just because of, this. Shoulders are on a front-to-back hinge as well as an up and down hinge. This is on a separate hinge from the actual joint itself right here, which can come out just under 90 degrees, though you're not going to be able to fully extend the elbow if you do. There is a bicep rotation, a single jointed elbow, which gets pretty much exactly 90 degrees, though the slight upbend on the wrist does mean that it looks a little bit more. And as always, hands are on a ball joint. Due to the transformation, there's nothing in the waist, though I guess technically the transformation joint counts as an ab crunch. The hips are just ball joints, though since they're so sort of sticking off, you do get a pretty good splay and rotation out of them, as well as obviously unimpeded kicks. This also lets me show off there is a double jointed knee, though because of this sticking off the back here, it only just gets above 90. Ankles have a crazy front pivot for some reason, and okay side to side, a little bit of rotation. And feet are articulated for the transformation, so you can have the toes pointing down. That was probably the quickest articulation segment I've done in a long time, but there's not really a lot to talk about with this. Now getting into accessories and gimmicks, let's start off as always with the sticker sheet and by extension color correction. You get the mono eye, which while being a sticker that's completely flat does have a clear piece over it, so it actually looks really nice. Otherwise, you get the purple there, which goes on the backpack. These two purple ones, which go down here on the wrist. And these two, which are in transformed state. The black one goes in the head, and the red one goes on the underside of the backpack in there. Though, aside from that stuff being stickered, there is still quite a bit of missing color on this thing. I mean, obviously the vents here on the chest. Black here with the red on the inside, which is a weird aesthetic choice, but whatever. Gray on the inside of the shoulders up here. Well, purple, gray, it's a weird thing. The actual runners go with purple, but the paint I used ended up coming a little bit more gray. Also the gray and red on the thrusters on the bottom of the torso, which is kind of hard to see. An absolute ton of red verniers. I mean, 2 on each side here, 2 on the back there. These gray ones, these red ones, and red on these two, the red and black on these two on the legs, and the 2 on the inside here. Also the black with red trim on the front verniers here. There's a lot in the leg. And then the red trim on the feet and the green trim on these 3 thrusters on the legs. They're molded in red, but you do have to paint the green trim on them, which is whatever. Strange decision. And also, I almost just forgot, the ring here is part of the green plastic, even though it could have easily been part of the purple, but that's just a weird quirk of this kit, honestly. Aside from that, it's just the red and black trim, or black with red trim on the front and back of the rifle. Painting on this was actually pretty minimal. It wasn't that bad. Just verniers, really. Now, getting into accessories proper. Get 2 closed fists and a dedicated trigger finger hand for the rifle. The rifle is actually fully color separated aside from that little bit of paint on the front and back. The gray for these pegs as well as the orange is color separated, which is nice. Now, normally I would be like, oh, don't bother taking this off, but no, you can actually store this on the back here like it does in the show, which is nice. But having gone over all the accessories, let's let's go over the transformation, which honestly isn't that bad, and is a proper transformation. There's no parts forming required. Lift up these panels, rotate the fist this way, and slide it in, bringing this back down. On this side, then just to make this easier on yourself, you're probably going to want to unhook these sections now to bring them out, just to get them out of the way more than anything. They just clip onto these pretty loosely. I mean, it doesn't go anywhere, but it's easy to get it off. You want to bring this down, and honestly, you might as well just do these now. Undo this, and then you want to bring that section down and rotate it so that the outer frame sort of locks. It's a bit of a weird system to get it in there, but I mean, it works fine. Just want to get that in all the way, yeah, so that the leg fully collapses like that. Bring that back in, fold that up. Same on the other side. You just want to flip these around, and the clips that hold the chest on go into these little slots here on the waist, and tap that in place. Just slightly easier said than done, but once you get it in there, it's nice and solid. Just straighten up the legs, like so. Now, next thing, slide this section up, flip it down to the back. You want to rotate the arms so that they sort of, like so. There's that sticker. Turn the head this way and pull these two segments. For some reason, the one for the front of the head really likes to stick on this copy, but one moment. And you just tab the backpack, little tabs in here into the forearm. Slightly easier said than done. Why doesn't this one tab in properly? What am I doing wrong? Anything? Okay, I realized what the problem was. There was something with the hand not wanting to go in all the way. It should be flush like that so that I can tab in. This little extension piece to plug in there. And since this doesn't really have any landing gear, plug this in there. And here we have your donut in donut mode. Not 100%, I guess. There's a little bit of a gap going on there, but good enough for the review. And yeah, as you noticed at the beginning, it does actually have a stand, and you do require 2 screws here. It does come with the screws and nuts that you use to put these in, but yeah, you're gonna need a screwdriver or something to tighten these. And as for a quick size comparison, the Asshimar is surprisingly tall. It's massive compared to most one-year war suits, and it's still pretty big even compared to the Grips conflict units. So to wrap this review up, the Asshimar is okay. I like the fact that it has a perfect transformation without any parts forming. The paint wasn't too bad. I mean, the color separation's almost perfect aside from a lot of red. The articulation's not amazing. Though, to be fair, a lot of the limitations in the articulation's because of the design rather than the engineering, so I can't really fault it too much for that. Overall, it feels a little bit more expensive than it probably should be, though I do have to factor in it comes with the stand, which is obviously going to drive the price up a bit. I think if you like the Asshimar, it's worth getting this donut. If you're just looking for a weird suit, there's cheaper options, but this still isn't a bad one. And that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. Subscribe and hit the bell to be alerted for future reviews. Come chill in the Discord. Follow me on Twitter, if that's even still around. And consider supporting me on Patreon so I can keep bringing you videos like this. And, as always, until next time, happy building.